This episode brought to you by Bear Onesies. I'm naked inside this animal carcass, and you don't even know that. This is Hot Drop, where we bring you premier PUBG analysis and discussions about the technological advancements of Autobots. I'm Cody.
I'm Dano.
And I'm John. We stream Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. at twitch.tv/hotdrop_podcast. Discord link and the hotline number are in the show notes. Hit up these to share your thoughts with us. Our topics for today include news and updates for each platform, including PC Patch 25, feedback on Vikendi from Xbox and PS4, and a mobile update featuring a Resident Evil crossover. Ooh. Carepackage this week is all about perspective, third person versus first person. Let's get into it.
Let's, please. So I like it since we've gone to this new format at the beginning. When you say hit up these to share your thoughts with us, you like pause like it's the first time you've ever read it.
Dude, it trips me up every
I can
time.
tell.
I don't know why it's worded like that, and I never change it.
You never change it.
It's just a millisecond where you're like, wait a second.
He's up to change your thoughts with us.
This isn't how I talk.
It's not. It's not at all. I would say hit these up. That's
Hit
what
these
I
up.
would say.
Hit up these. Just hit up these. Hit up these, fam. I'm changing it now. Hit these up. Or
Hit up
don't.
these.
Or don't hit them up. 508-216-0006. Hit it up.
I'm gonna remember next episode. I'll be like, oh, I gotta change that, and I'll switch it back. And then
Hit up these.
Anyway, let's go into housekeeping, okay? First and foremost, probably the most important thing we're going to tell you all night long is we still have a Pets of Hot Drop calendar available. There was one of you that said, I want it. And then you were like, never mind, I don't want it. You guys suck. I never want to talk to you again. We're not even friends.
Bam.
And then I went, oh, man, that hurts. And then I cried. Then I told my wife, and she told me to grow the fuck up. Then I ate a popsicle, and then I was okay. Now I'm telling you, we have a calendar available. $15, and it's yours.
welcome back, Cody.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah. I
This is
forgot.
the second episode
It's the
with
second episode, yeah. He's got a voice back.
He does, yeah.
You got a little more treble, I think. A little less bass.
So
It's just like slightly different.
That's because I'm missing half of my soft palate, my uvula.
Have you found it on eBay yet?
No.
I assume they're selling that
I don't
along
think
with a
it's gonna
couple
say-
livers.
I don't think it's gonna say like Cody's uvula. Like, oh shit, that's it. They're that way.
Hold on. I just said a couple livers. As if you have two. Left side, right side.
Okay.
Anyway.
Moving on. We have a PC community night this coming Thursday, January 31st. So everybody better be out there. Thursday, January 31st. What time are we starting?
Stream time,
night.
8 o'clock
8 o'clock.
p.m. Eastern
8
Standard
o'clock
Daylight
p.m.
Time.
Eastern Daylight Time. So be there Thursday, January 31st. PC. Hot Drop Tournament number 2 for Xbox is on February 9th. Squads are $10 per person for an entry fee. Please, I think the link for how to send that, just talk to PCD, right? Or he sent a link, maybe? I don't remember.
Email PUBG Xbox Tournament.
That's right. There's a fancy email. Say it again.
PUBG Xbox Tournaments at gmail.com.
Now say it in an accent from somebody from Liverpool.
Hey, PUBG Xbox Tournaments at gmail.com.
I don't think you know where Liverpool is.
I went from Irish to pirate in about 0.3 seconds.
I need
Most
you
people do.
to talk like like the greatest Beatle that ever existed, George Harrison.
Oh, mate, yeah, you got an Hot Drop Tournament number 2 on February 9th. You got squads, it's $10 per person. Email pointclickdead at PUBGXboxTournaments.com.
I think what you got there was like a really satirical Ringo Starr, but I'll take it.
It was close.
Apologies to all my British folk.
I'm sorry, Ringo.
Sorry, Johnny.
Sorry, Mong. Nightman, I mean, nobody can understand you anyway.
Wow, alienating our squad one person at a time. That's what we do
love all
best.
of you.
Yeah.
Challenge of the week.
Hold on.
We've also got a mobile tournament, February 23rd.
I don't like this anymore.
That accent's banned.
Turn it off.
Where the fuck?
Mobile tournament is also happening February 23rd. Squads, $10 per person. Just email us or join the Discord, whatever. We'll be posting more info. You'll know. If you care at all about the show in any way, shape, or form, you'll hear about it. Don't worry about it. Challenge of the week. Challenge of the week was pretty cool.
It was to use different weapons for kills, and Clay got 14 kills.
14 kills. So
with unique weapons.
You've already lost. We'll just put it that way. You're not going to win this one, so Clay won it. But there'll be another challenge of the week if you join the Discord and see it tomorrow.
How in the world? What?
So here's the progression.
No, guys, I'm not that good. No, I'm just dicking around.
AK, SKS, M16, M4, Car 98, DP 28, Mini 14, AKM, Vector, UMP 9, Mutant, again Mutant, over under Uzi, VSS, Scar. I know that there was an AK in there twice, but those are just his kills in that game. But he's got a video of it all, 14 unique guns. Just stupid good. Stupid good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So he gets that Discord emote.
Yeah. Additionally, top 10 prizes have been mailed to the winners for November and December, so keep an eye out, Clay and PCD.
Our two viewer. All the viewer that we have. Because the people we mention constantly. We have Jammy, we have Clay, and we have PCD. Mm-hmm. You guys know them by name. We can just
go through a list. We can read through all 600 of you. But I'll send them all as individual hotline messages.
Perfect. Everyone needs a shout out. I think that's all we have. That's all. So Bear Onesie are coming soon. A Kickstarter on the Bear Onesies.
Oh wait, why don't we still have merch, guys, which is a thing that you should remember, because I have been essentially spending all the extra money in the world that I have on my own merch.
Yeah, it's a little vain, but that's fine.
It is.
I don't mind.
So if you guys go in and check out Battle Stations, you'll see my new renovated office, which essentially is just a glorified PUBG room. And there are Hot Drop logos everywhere in here. And a lot of it came from our Redbubble site. So check the show notes. Go and spend your money on our awesome merch because it's pretty cool, really good quality. And if they mess it up, they'll send you another one for free.
Hey,
nice.
It's true, actually, they will, because they did once. But we don't talk about that because they're great.
Well, they sent me a sweatshirt, and the sweatshirt was like, "This isn't right," and so it was too small. So I gave it to my son, and he was like, "This is awesome." And then they sent me another one, and it was like the color was all messed up from the print. And I was like, "Hey guys, you messed up the print thing." And they were like, "You know what, man? Let's just send you a gift card." And I was like, "All right, cool." And then I ordered it, and then it came, and it was too small again. And I was like, maybe it's just this specific product because I'm fat and they don't want me to be. Because I have ordered now 10 different things from the website, and that is the only thing they have messed up.
Maybe you need to go on a tonsil diet again to slim down to be able to fit into it.
I cannot do that a second time. Listen, man. I got a bag of Doritos next to me and a beer. I can't go back. You can't make me go back.
We gotta go back to the island.
Xbox box.
What's in the box?
It's huge.
I still can't got the stitches. I got the stitches.
I still can't.
Okay. Vikendi scavenger hunt is the thing that's happening. they're posting up screenshots, and you have to find those locations. And then if you take a screenshot and send it to them, you will get in-game and I believe out-of-game prizes as well.
That's super cool.
It's kind of cool.
pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
But again, they're doing all that. Remember, they're doing all this stuff. It's kind of taken away from just playing the game.
This is one of those things.
Yeah.
But at least this one isn't like, go to Podvosto and take a picture. You know, it's like the other things were like, everyone drop Mielta, and then it fucks up everyone who's not playing that mission. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. You get a beanie, a snow beanie with earmuffs. There's some glasses as well. And then there's some actual real-life prizes. There's a giant mouse mat. Scandal.
Yeah.
Xbox getting a mouse mat.
It's a picnic
For your Zim, guys.
It's a picnic mat.
How many picnics would you have on this?
Oh my god, so many goddamn picnics.
All right,
how
fine.
big is the picnic mat? Why doesn't it
say.
tell me how big the picnic mat is?
There's no perspective. It's just like an unknown sized bag next to it.
Yeah, this plush of a chicken leg is very strange.
Yeah, it's shaped very oddly.
Maybe we're supposed to compare the picnic mat to the photo above us, which is a house with a butcher sign on it. So maybe it's a house-sized picnic
House
mat.
size. Yeah,
Guys,
it's
I
about
would like to
50
point
by
out
50.
that our merch is way cooler. And
I'm not
on
gonna
the
lie.
show notes.
It is. It totally is.
Pretty cool.
Guys, I got custom throw pillows for my couch.
That's pretty great.
It's pretty cool. And you also get a hoodie. The hoodies are okay, I guess. I'm fine with it.
Either way, go out and check this shit out. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. If
On
it
to
turns
more
out to be
important
dumb as hell, don't do it anymore.
They only have two sizes
What?
for the hoodie, large or XL.
What are they assuming
So
here?
you're either fat or you're
lot.
fatter.
A lot.
There's assuming that no children play this game. No smalls
Well,
in the
that-
kid sizes.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to more important stuff. There's a hotfix coming.
Hotfix!
There's a hotfix coming via a Reddit post.
Hotfix!
Horn. There's a hotfix coming.
Hotfix!
And they say, hey, everyone, thank you for all your feedback and bug reports. A hotfix is coming. If you've turned off this episode by now, I don't blame you. Everyone who's still listening, thank you for tuning in. They're actually doing a hotfix,
Hotfix!
which targets a lot of the issues that are recorded and reported. It's going to be this week. And what are some of those things, guys? There's a lot of things. These are just the things that our Discord reported. You want to check out what some of these might be?
Wait, whoa. Well,
Well,
we're not even jumping into what the hotfix may be before you roll my sound clip, Daniel. Because I'm back and I'm fired up.
I'd really like to talk about how dumb as hell that is.
Dumb as hell.
You're so dumb. Really dumb. For real. Dumb as hell.
What are they thinking by being so cavalier about this hotfix? For weeks, there's a PTS for a reason, right? What is that PTS for, may I ask?
Not for fixes.
Wouldn't you think that during the amount of time that people played this public test server, that they would have identified the dumpster fire that was the launch of Vikendi? Don't you think that they would have fixed the problems before they launched this garbage trash? The ready up bug is back. People get stuck in the map, in stairs, in walls. Bridges don't render. Buildings don't render. People get caught up in all of the bullshit before it's loaded in. It's like day one PTS for Erangel. This is bullshit. I don't like it. Flying cars are back. This isn't the DeLorean, bitches. It's dumb as hell.
I think the worst part about this is when addressing this, the PUBG community man on Reddit, almost a G man, the PUBG man,
Community man.
hotfix.
refers to these bugs. Also to fix newly discovered bugs and try to implement top quality of life fixes. It's almost like he's referring to these game-breaking bugs as quality of life.
It's
fixes.
almost as though they took Dwayne from accounting and were like, sorry, man, you got to write everybody a letter. We fucked up and we did it bad. Make
No
sure
offense
at
to
the end,
Dwayne, by the way.
Yeah, no, you seem like a really nice guy, but you should have quit.
You got thrown under the bus.
Thanks again for your
Battle bus.
patience and understanding. 2 things that PUBG players are known for.
Big and true. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs. Cody said a lot of the big ones.
Here's the
rendering
thing.
thing is the biggest.
Footstep sounds aren't playing, or they're really strange and kind of pitched in the wrong way. Hit reg. I don't know about that. That's a whole different issue in itself. It's not just hit reg. It's just a giant clusterfuck of flying bullets that may or may not have hit or did hit you previously and are now affecting you after 10 steps. I don't really know. It's really strange. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos out there, but it's real weird.
Yeah.
It's just not ready.
Yeah, it's not ready.
Yeah.
Apparently, war modes and stuff are destroying people and kicking people and resetting the game and crashing hard.
Yeah, and it's because of the parachuting as well. The parachuting mechanics aren't ready for war mode, so you can't get to the ground fast enough, so you just get picked off from the air. Remember on war mode they changed it so you land almost immediately? They didn't do that for the new war modes, for the new parachuting.
That's strange.
So, crashing and then the shooting and then you land, sometimes your gun isn't equipped or won't fire. It's just garbage trash right now. It's sad.
That's pretty bad.
It's a bummer.
Well, let's go to some good feedback, though, right?
Yeah.
There was a little bit.
There is a little bit.
What was there?
Oh, I thought you were going to read it. Knox says it's pretty beautiful. He said he's a member of our Discord, Xbox player primarily. Says it's a good map for duos. It needs a little bit of optimization to run, and overall it's fun. And he said it was good. They had a lot of trouble at first, but it's smoothed out. It's gotten better over time. He thinks that some of the issues that people might have reported immediately were related to server load, possibly. So, and which is possible. It definitely could be the case.
Yeah.
And similarly, Point Click likes the parachuting mechanics. He likes the footprint tracking, which is something we touched on and we really like as well. And he also said he likes the unique locations on the map. And there are a lot of them. The different areas of the map look quite a bit different, even down to like some of it is snow covered and some of it isn't. So you've got the unique variety of buildings and then the variety of vegetation too. So it gives you some different areas to fight in, which makes it fresh, keeps it exciting.
Yeah.
And I share a lot of the same opinions as these guys. I think it is a great map for duos. I think since the slight tweak to ARs, we'll talk about the item spawn balance in a little bit. But I think the addition of a little bit higher spawning ARs does make it a little bit better for squads, which before I would lean more towards duos. But Xbox doesn't have this patch yet.
Yeah. I think it still works as squads. As much as I fought against it for loot reasons, I think it's partially like a mental game coming from Sanhok to this map definitely spoiled me.
Yeah.
But it still works for squads. It's just don't expect 2 rifles.
Do you miss Sanhok much? Because I actually don't.
I think that this map is good enough that like I still like Sanhok, but I don't feel the drive to go back like I did with Erangel.
Yeah, same. That's what I meant by that. Like, I don't miss it. I still like it. I don't hate it like I hated Miramar, but it's like this is the perfect layout of a map. So whether or not the loot tables kind of suck, I'm like, this is a great map. This is top notch.
Yeah,
it's
a good job.
It's really fun. I think not to go back through this again, but I think they did a really good job with the way the cover is laid out. It feels a lot more like Erangel as far as having the trees kind of everywhere. There are locations that are less similar. There's like farmland and stuff like that. It feels very similar to that landscape and how those end games finish, you know?
Yeah.
It's fun. I think it's a great map. And the size, I think, works really well. There's very few named places on the map that are just empty when you go there. So you're pretty much, you should be ready for a fight if you can get to it from the plane.
Yeah.
which I think is a good thing. But yeah, it's a great map.
Yeah, big fan.
So the community man, just to bring this up,
Dwayne.
Dwayne apologized, and many bugs reported over the course of the PTS, and sadly not all were able to get fixed in time for live.
Which doesn't
Sounds
make
like
any sense.
there weren't a lot. Yeah, it
Because
basically
just postpone it.
They didn't tell people it was coming out. Like they were like PTS. Guess what? We're launching.
yeah.
They didn't go like, hey, we're launching PTS in 2 weeks from now. You guys are going to be able to play it on live.
Right.
Yeah, and this is what they're talking about here. Read the rest of this quote. I think this was interesting.
So yeah, I do know that we are rethinking how we utilize the PTS. I fall under the same belief as many of you that it should not only be used to test stability, but also to fix newly discovered bugs and try to implement top quality of life fixes reported by the community. While I will be sure to convey this to the team to the best of my abilities, do know that as a whole, we are discussing goals for the PTS for the rest of the year.
Why wasn't that the structure of PTS before? Like
To begin with.
No, I fall under the same belief as many of you. No, our belief is that's what a test server is. It's
Yeah,
to test stability and find bugs so they can be fixed. Nobody has a PTS so that you can not fix it and then fix it later on.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure everybody who has a test server expects to find bugs and then address them. Like you do it in 2 stages basically, right? Like you release the patch for stability purposes on the PTS, and then you do another round after you fix those stability bugs to find the actual like core bugs.
Right.
I think that's how a lot of people deal with it, but it sounds like they're fighting basically internal deadlines. It seems more of like an internal politics move rather than.
Well, I can
anything
imagine
else.
that's what Bluehole is now.
Yeah.
G Corp, whatever. They're essentially like, fuck, we got to get back on top of this. We got to get back on top of this. And somebody comes up with a great idea.
Yeah.
And then I can't think of a douchey name without probably hurting someone's feelings, but a real not nice guy goes like,
Dwayne.
yeah, but what about this other thing? What about the bottom line? What about, getting it
Yeah.
out there? People don't care. And then they have to launch it.
Yeah.
And they have a half-ass idea.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
like the PC, the Xbox guys have seen it on PC for months, or like a month, not a month, a couple weeks, to a month.
I think we're at a month, right?
And they weren't getting it, and weren't getting it, and everyone was hyped up, and they wanted Vikendi, and they want Vikendi, and they want Vikendi. So it's like, well, would you rather have it now in the state it's in, where sometimes, yeah, you might fall through the map 25% of the time, depending on where you drop, or do you just want it and so you can play it for the most part? I don't know. Like, to me, as a 1.0 game, no, it shouldn't have been released. It's not 1.0. It's not ready. If you're falling through the map, if bridges aren't loading, if you're getting stuck in doorways and walls and under the map, that's not 1.0.
Right.
Like, why couldn't they just delay it for another month to try to iron those things out? Unless they're things that you just can't fix. Unless they're just unfixable bugs, and this is just how it's going to be.
Yeah, if it's like because we've had some performance things, especially early on, that made the map feel worse in terms of performance, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if like the way the map is built, like if there are some kind of structural or fundamental issues that would be difficult to address. Maybe that's the type of stuff that they need to work on now, and maybe it's just going to be a difficult map for the next 6 months or something. Maybe to fix this, it would have taken like half a year, and that would have been really rough. But it's the type of thing, this is like a bad PR thing, right? Like you release your brand new map, like this is supposed to bring the players back, like get hype up for it and everything
And it has. But the issue is that it's not long lasting because
totally
you fuck it up. So you get all these people in and they go, yeah. And then they go, again, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It seems it's tough on console people because they get to see PC play it a lot and they really want it. So is the answer that they should reduce the delay between these? Like if they have a finished PC map, should they wait to release it until they have closer to a finished Xbox map?
I would.
You would hold back both to get them both like a closer release. Probably not release them at the same time because that would
At
be
this
hell.
point in the development of this game, it would probably be a smarter idea business-wise on their part.
Yeah. I think it would be a tough thing to sell, but I think once you get on that cycle, I think that would be better overall.
Mhm.
Like for the general PUBG community.
I think if they just kept calling console early access, they would be fine.
But they can't now that PS4 is released.
Right.
They go, just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like everyone knows the Xbox 1.0 is just not a real thing. Like what made that game 1.0? Oh,
Yeah.
separate, like an update that didn't fix anything. Like it's not.
Well, the rest of the maps are like doing well, right?
Yeah,
like
the rest of the maps are doing pretty well.
What
Miramar
is
still
the
has some
end game?
problems.
What's the end game
What end game?
for the console game? Because console doesn't have the same longevity here that PC would, right? You don't have console games necessarily. Like you have replayability of certain games, but as generations come out, they're going to have to do a real upgrade to this game.
Right.
When 5th gen consoles come out in 1 to 2 years.
I think that's the answer to make
What are
a
these-
smooth PUBG.
Yeah, it's
For
got to
console.
be. And maybe they're trying to long game it, but you're long gaming it the wrong way right now.
Like I think that's really what the problem is. Like the current consoles are not powerful enough to run what this game demands. Like, or they just need to completely rebuild it using a different engine.
I think I read that right now, like 20% or just shy of that of the major console companies are working on next gen games at the moment. But I can't imagine that PUBG Corp is working on the next gen update of this game.
No way. Yeah, no, it's
thing-
way too early for that.
No, but they need like they need the next gen tech for their game to work.
Yeah, right.
Like they don't need to work on next gen stuff because they already put it out and released it.
Well, let's hope they can hold out long enough at this point to keep console around. PC, I don't think is going anywhere because it's actually running a lot better than it ever has.
Yeah, I still
But-
think there are some issues on, at least for me, definitely when I'm streaming, there's some issues on Vikendi, but yeah, it's definitely in a good place.
Trying to Google around really quick. So I was looking up the release date for the Xbox One, and it came out in 2013, end of the year, 2013. So then I thought, okay, what would the equivalent PC be? You know, you can't really, can't really judge this, but trying to figure out like what the equivalent PC graphics card would be. And so in 2013, the 1080p card would be the Radeon R9 270X. So compare that to like today's mid-range card, like that's quite a bit slower than the mid-range card, which would be a 1060, I would say. So if you say like 1060 versus, I'm doing math that probably doesn't even matter, but 270X. I'm just curious, like how much better graphics cards are now compared to when they were in 2013. To compare it to say, like, can a PC from 2013 run? Like, could we expect a PC from 2013 to run this game as good as an Xbox does?
We can look at the, where's the store page? We can look at the minimum specs. Probably shouldn't be doing this live. But,
No, definitely not.
GTX 960 is the minimum, or Radeon R7 370.
Yeah, so that's 370 is
That's
only
the
a year
minimum.
after. So yeah, I guess yeah, maybe this isn't the
But the year
comparison.
after, that's still the year after is like,
Yeah,
that can be a decent upgrade.
it's about twice as fast, the 1060 from the 270, roughly. I don't know.
I have no idea, and I am a tech whiz.
Yeah, that's tough. But anyway, the point is the release wasn't great. It's unfortunate. I think that we can expect similar releases like this in the future. I think it's just going to be rough until they can, optimize for the systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's tough.
All right. Well, let's let's move into our last kind of point for the Xbox box is that map selection has been the real talking point this week, and not in a good way.
Yeah, they took it out.
Yep, they took it out, and right now you can play Vikendi or all of the others.
So it's Vikendi or any other map.
Yeah. Yep, and that's not cool because
That's frustrating.
Sanhok doesn't belong with Erangel or Miramar. Doesn't belong there. It's not how this should go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be the 2 newer maps and the 2 older maps. It's so easy.
It's probably a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
PUBG's playing a numbers game. We need more people in the servers to keep all 8 things open.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I just disagree.
Yeah.
But,
well, I think they did it probably the right way right now because everyone is going to want to play the snow map. So if you put Savage or Sanhok in with Vikendi, everyone's going to back out of Sanhok because everyone wants to play the new map for a certain amount of time, maybe give it a couple weeks. And then I think we'll see in a week or so them put Sanhok in with Vikendi and the old maps in their own playlist. I think that's how it should be.
It's only going to happen if they see numbers dropping.
I don't
Vikendi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, there's a lot of people who complained about this quite a bit in the Discord, and I don't blame them because they're just going to be backing out of almost every single map. Like, if they want to play Sanhok, they would have to go to the old playlist, and everyone's going to be backing out of Miramar and Erangel all the time. And then the same thing, if you want to play Erangel, you have to back out of the other 2. So a lot of people were liking the new map, but they're disappointed in it because of the performance, and they just want to go back to what they know, and it's difficult to do that. So people say, why can't we have map selection? Why can't I pick the map I want to play? And well, the reason is there's just not enough of a player base to support all of them, all the modes.
Right.
So it's like you can have third person and map selection, or you can have all the maps, or you can have all the maps and all the game modes, but it doesn't work. Right. Like, it's just not going to work. The population isn't there. Do you want to wait in a queue forever? I don't. I'd rather back out a few times, but it does get annoying because the loading times are slow.
Yeah, there's not really a good answer to this yet. I think the thing that we've come up with, which is unrealistic at this point, is like PS4 and Xbox need to play together. That's the only thing that will really solve this issue, but that doesn't seem any closer now than it was when we first talked about it.
This episode brought to you by Crossplay.
Yeah, please.
Fucking do it, Sony.
Corporate greed. Yeah. PlayStation Ace.
PlayStation Ace. So, while the launch of Vikendi on Xbox was a giant fucking dumpster fire, the PlayStation 4 was more of a controlled burn. I played like an hour in PS4, just kind of in between a couple of things, and I want to get more time in here so I can do a full-on review of this map in PS4, but it was different. Overall, I think that the issues that I had on Xbox were not the same. However, I always died immediately, and when I got away a couple of times to try and find a weapon, I literally had to run for like 2 minutes to find anything. So loot takes a million years longer to spawn in than it ever did on Xbox. And I'm playing with like the second iteration of the PlayStation 4. So not the slim adjusted one, but like they launched it, then they came out with a new with different, like just slightly different hardware, not an improvement, but like different quality hardware. And it is slow as shit. It's real hard to play. But once it caught up to itself, it was actually very nice, very good looking, smooth enough. I think that you're not going to run into the same issues because PlayStation said they had higher like standards for how they needed the game to work. And I'm starting to think like how these games may be built, maybe catering a little bit better to a PS4 system at this point. But that's just speculation. I know shit about shit when it comes to PS4, Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah. I know a lot about shit. Shit in the outlets, man. Don't let your landlord fuck you over.
We had a very deep conversation about this week. Shit in the outlets. Well, you've played Xbox, though. How does it compare to Xbox? Is it basically the same, but you're saying it's a little bit smoother on PS4?
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit smoother on PS4. Also, again, just my personal preference, I think that the PlayStation controller is better.
Ooh, scandal.
I think it's easier to know what I'm going for because the joysticks are closer together. I know that like when my thumbs are close that I'm controlling things, and I like my auxiliary and my items to go somewhere else. So like when I'm going to the D-pad, I'm going up and away from everything instead of down and back into the mess.
How do they implement the touchpad? Does that do anything?
That's your map, and I loved it.
So you press it in for that, right?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's great.
They could do some crazy, like, give you a mouse cursor if you do the touchpad. That could be cool. I don't know.
So the one thing that I did not like, and I will always give Xbox props for this, is that their triggers and bumpers are pressure sensitive. So your hard ADS, you hit it hard and you'll go into ADS, or you'll slowly and you'll do soft aim. Mm-hmm. That's not how it works on PlayStation. You double tap to aim down sights and you press once to soft aim, and it was super confusing and I hated it.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm sure you can change it.
B. Yeah.
I'm sure you can change it, but it was shit. It was terrible. I hated it, and I'm pretty sure it is on the controller B, but I was like, this is dumb. Why do they do this?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of double tapping to ADS. That seems rough.
It was real rough. But overall, Vikendi was pretty cool on it and not as much of a dumpster fire as Xbox was.
So you didn't run into any of the bugs that were listed above?
Not as frequently, and my game didn't crash, and like it just wasn't as intensive as the people on Xbox are reporting.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I think in the next couple of weeks, let's have someone on chat some more PS4.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to talk to Scale if he's willing to come on because he's been playing a lot.
Let's call him out right now.
Yeah, Scale, you better be on this podcast.
Yeah, Kai Guy as well has been playing almost every single day, so I'd like to hear what he has to say. Friend of the show.
Yeah.
So, cool. There is a PS4 community event. Was that all you had, or did you want to...
That's it. That's all.
I didn't want to jump over any other thoughts you might have had.
That's it. That's all.
PS4 community milestone event. Catchy name, but very strange. Check
Similar
this out.
rewards to the Xbox screenshot stuff.
Except you get an actual chicken dinner delivered to your home.
By Dave.
He's a different department than Dwayne, but...
He's the chicken department.
Yeah, he's the chicken department. Whoever earns the 1 millionth chicken dinner on PS4 will get a chicken dinner. And actual goodies like a hoodie, a backpack, and the plush cushion things. Mm-hmm. Kind of weird, but check out that if you're interested.
Chance to be interviewed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty wild.
Them dinners.
Pretty wild. Seems kind of fun though. Anyway, any other tips for PS4? So it's kind of a light PS4 section. I think a lot of the stuff that we said probably applies to PS4 as well from the Xbox box. But do you want to go over any more tips perhaps for new players?
Yes.
All right. What do you got?
As always, let's start with get good.
Yeah.
It helps.
Very important.
Don't suck.
Helps a lot.
Ooh, I like the one, all doors start closed.
Yeah.
You called me out today. You were like, these doors are never open. I was like, they're open. And you were like, no, they're not. And then Dano got shot in the back.
Yeah.
Tragic.
But like, the thing is I never had really given it all that much thought on interior doors. Mm-hmm. And always so close. I came through an interior door and went, that gave me an option to close this door. And John was like, no, that happens. You're okay. And I was like, I don't feel good about this. Yeah. And then Dan died. So remember, all doors start closed. If you see open doors, danger.
And same with loot on the ground. Any clothes you see in the ground, a hat perhaps that someone dropped to swap out with a helmet.
Yeah, all
That's true.
clothes are gone.
Or PS4 too.
Ooh,
They got rid of that on PlayStation before Xbox existed, I believe.
Before
or
the
reverse that
change.
They got rid of clothes on PC before
PC,
Xbox
yeah.
games existed. Yes,
correct.
that was my
Yes.
I see.
So yeah, they don't spawn. If you see a hat on the ground, it means someone has already been there. They likely swapped it for a helmet, or if they just took their pants off for whatever reason. It's hot on Miramar. I don't know. Just be aware that someone's nearby or that's already looted that area.
Mm-hmm. I like tip number 1, which we have on this list. Good callouts and communication are key to success in a squad or duo. Keeping the chatter low at high stress situations. If you see an enemy and then start talking about the dinner that you had, that's probably bad for your fight or the strategy. Probably. It's always good to be clear and concise about where people are. Is the marking system implemented on the consoles?
It should be, yeah. It definitely is an
It
Xbox.
is.
So yeah, using that to point out where people are brings up a marker on the compass, which is super helpful. And remember, if you point at an object, the perspective will stay correct. So it's not just giving them like a line to look at; it's whatever you aim at. So if you aim at the ground right in front of where the enemy is, or right at the rock, then that perspective will be correct no matter where they are. They could be 90 degrees from the rock, and it'll still show the front of the rock where you were looking as the marker on the compass. So that's always really helpful. We like to do saying contact, say where the enemy is, and then if you can give like a vague range. Obviously, be more urgent if they are nearby, and just try and be clear about the information.
Yeah, compass direction, which way they're heading, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
How close
You
they
can
are.
you can get caught up not calling out the right direction, and you just got to be mindful that other people are also relying on kills.
Yep.
Because a lot of us will go, oh shit, boom, 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 and people are calling where, and you're like, guy, tree.
Yeah.
And you just go, 230, like, that's the best you're gonna get.
That's why the marks are helpful. It's always like sometimes I will get caught up and not call out where the enemy is, but I will most often drop a mark because it's on my mouse. It's one of my side mouse buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just, as soon as I see the guy, I'll try and drop a marker on the compass. So even if I don't call it out, but I call it contact, which is rare, that I won't.
You are not. But you are not a proponent of keybinds to your fire as well, right?
I don't like double binding. No.
So for those of you, that's a hot tip. So a lot of people will bind the marker with their fire button.
I'm going to recuse myself from this discussion.
PC only, by the way. I don't think you can change this on PS4.
Probably not, but just as a thought. And John does not. And teach their own, but keep it close if you're not going to do it. So keep that bind close to easily accessible.
Like T, maybe.
T is perfect.
It's a very logical button to put it on.
I agree. Thanks, Dan.
Mm-hmm, no problem. Anything else
Tips, Dan?
for the niche?
Did you give a tip, Dan?
I did. I said the hats.
I did.
The hats on the ground?
Yeah.
Hats on the ground?
Hats on the ground.
I thought you were just chaining. Yeah. No
yeah,
worries.
I mean, we could also say a really very simple one, a very fast one. Put away your weapon to run faster. It does work. It does help, especially if you're running with a sniper rifle. Running with a sniper rifle out, it will slow you down quite a bit. So if you need to get to the blue and every second counts, I have died falling forward out of the blue after I got to safety. So it is a game of inches. Put away the sniper rifles, put away the ARs. You'll run faster. Pistols don't matter. I think it's the same. And SMGs is just slightly slower. So you do probably want something out to protect yourself if they're nearby enemies. But pan, yeah, that's enough. That's all you need. Just keep
swinging around.
Yeah. Yep. But that's all. That's all I got. Care package?
Care package inbound.
Care package on the way.
So last week, we got to talking, and then we decided to stop because there's a lot more to talk about. So this week's care package is talking about FPP versus TPP in tournaments and changing first person to be more hardcore game mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real interesting topic.
Yeah.
Because this game came out as a third person perspective game.
That's right.
And it wasn't until 6 months, 8 months into early access, right, that we got our first taste of first person.
Right.
It was a while in.
Yeah, it took a while. I think we had the option to switch between first and third, if I remember right. I can't remember the timeline, but that was when they introduced the first person only mode where you're stuck in that mode and can't pop back out to third. So that was a game changer for all of the more, and in my opinion, hardcore players. But we wanted to talk about what that meant and why first person is more attractive to people who are looking to play this competitively.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people want to see a first person dominant game as a more challenging tournament only style play?
There's a clear advantage when you're in third person and you're behind cover. You can just basically stay there and keep your eyes open and spot people that can't actually see you. So there's a big camera advantage. You can crouch behind a wall that somebody from far away won't be able to see you, but you can see them clearly. You can basically line up your shot, poke out, and just two-tap somebody really easily. It's tough because this game was designed for third person, so there's still some jank in regards to first person. It's mostly ironed out, but yeah, it's really frustrating trying to play this competitively and then somebody just what we call third person peek you, just basically turn their camera to see where you are and then know exactly how to counter that rather than having to put themselves in a risky position to gain information. So there's basically no risk for information.
Yep. Yeah, one of the things we said I said when first person came out was I thought I felt safer, actually, running through a town, knowing that it's up to me to see the guy first. Whereas in third person, anyone could be hiding behind a wall and using their camera to look over the wall and would be completely invisible to you. So, yeah, I think it relies on you being very good with spotting enemies, being the first to spot them, having good flick shots. There's less camping because of it, because you can't just lay down in very thick grass and be able to see in 360 all around where you are.
That's actually another really good point, that lying down, you have a huge perspective advantage in third person that you don't get in FPP.
Yep. Yeah, and I think spectator sport as well. I think people like the intensity of watching a first-person game because you see what they see, you know?
Yeah, you have less information because there's less of the world taking up your camera space.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit before off of recording, but we couldn't think of any first-person shooter game. Sorry, any shooter game that is not in first person that's an esport. I can't think of anything.
No.
We've got Overwatch and CSGO and Quake from a while ago. We've got Team Fortress, COD, obviously, Battlefield, all first person. Halo's a big one. I'm sure I'm missing some other big ones out there, but I don't think of any shooters as being an esports game that's third person. I don't think that exists.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And do you think then, therefore, it should be its own game mode with different rule sets?
I think it can be.
Might not have to be.
Yeah. The problem with this is you run into issues like map selection, right? Where you don't necessarily have enough to queue up. But I think it's an interesting, proposal. Basically, FPP would be competitive or like a ranked mode, and third person could still be ranked in some way, but maybe just have the basic rule set. We know a lot of our console players play on third person. It just feels better third person than first person. We definitely have some console players who play first, but I think
the game is better in third person, not just because I don't like first person.
Right.
I think it's more fun.
I think it feels better third person. I really wanted to join the first person bandwagon when it came out. I really wanted that to be my main game mode because it felt so crappy to get shot by somebody from behind a rock who just knew I was there and who was watching me the whole time. It was so frustrating. But yeah.
But also, and you were the one that told me this before, like, it's the same disadvantage. Everyone's got the same disadvantage, right? Everyone can be peaked. Peak or be peaked.
Sure, but like the frustrating thing comes from like the campers, right? It's really it's so annoying to just come up to somebody who's just squatting behind a tree for 10 minutes and them kill you versus somebody who like is peeking you from, you know, behind a tree in first person who has no information and they just win off of pure skill.
Yeah.
Not that shooting in third person is, you know, unskilled, but watching somebody walk up to you and then just popping out as soon as they're close enough to get the kill for the surprise is not very skillful.
True.
Cody, you said it's more fun in third person. Can you explain what are some of the things that make it more fun?
The way that I like to play games is people will always make the argument that first person is more immersive than third is, but I disagree. I mean, I've made the point before that, like, in real life, I know where my body is, and in first person, you can't see your body. I have spatial recognition in third person to know where my body is. I can sense what is behind me in real life, so why can't I sense what is behind me in first person perspective? It's limiting to me, and so when I play in third person, I feel like I'm more immersed in, this is me, this is how I'm going to play. I can sense who is ahead of me, over that ridge, behind me, whatever. Whereas first person limits me to, I don't know, however many degrees in front of me, and that's it. And the sounds that aren't always accurate.
I see what you mean. So yeah, if you're standing next to a wall in real life, you know exactly how far away from the wall you are just by your periphery.
Yeah.
But then in third person, you can see that, but then in first, you can't necessarily. Or you don't necessarily know like how far your arm is sticking out past the wall in first person.
Right.
Yeah.
And like if they wanted to make this third person a little more accurate, I would move in a little bit, down and in as your perspective, but I wouldn't take away being able to see the entirety of your body.
Yeah. And maybe take away the ability to do a 360 and free look with the camera.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to look and run, I can see most behind me, but there is a dead zone.
You can hear Cody turning his head.
Yeah. Yeah. I did too.
It's my beard hitting my shirt.
No. It was the way your voice changed when you moved.
Because I can hear my beard as I'm turning in my head. Like I can hear it scratching across my shirt.
Lord Beard Face, everyone. So let's talk about what the hardcore mode would be. What rules would change, and then I have a question to pose to y'all.
Yeah. Do you want me to, are you going to propose or do you want me to? Okay. Yeah. So I would say the hardcore game mode would be first person only, of course. Possibly more ARs, no level 3 helmets, no red zones, faster circles, perhaps. Whatever the competitive rule set is, because clearly we have an esports scene for PUBG. They have decided upon a set rule set. Whatever that is, that's what the first person game mode would be, to make it so that you have the ability to train in the game with the rule set that you would use in competition. Like that, that's what I would want this to be, so that I don't have to go and create a custom rule set.
Yeah, you don't have to do a custom game. It is there. That is how you play. There is no changing it.
Yeah. So maybe more DMR, maybe more SRs. Definitely take away level 3 helmets. And from the world spawn. Yep. And yeah, I mean, I think that's about it.
So my question is, why isn't this just a universal rule change? Why does it have to be only FPP? Like, is this enough to dissuade new players to play? Or, you know, is this just how the game should play?
Yeah, I feel like why not? Yeah, why would it have to be a separate game mode?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that people might have issue with is higher spawn rates to DMRs, ARs, and fewer SMGs. I don't know if the players would have issue, but it might not be what PUBG Corp is like looking for in the game specifically. I think
sorry, go ahead.
Overall, all of these rule changes are solid.
I think also so clearly the competitive scene made a decision to change the rules to be what they have now. So whatever the reasoning for doing that is would be the answer to that question. So like, for example, fewer level 3 helmet spawns, or take away level 3 helmet spawns from the world. We know why that makes sense. It makes it so that SRs have a higher skill ceiling, less of a chance of seeing someone with level 3 helmet in the world, therefore a higher chance of one-shotting someone. Being
and
a more
the risk
powerful
reward
player.
of care packages.
Exactly. Yes, and the risk reward of care packages. Red zones. Red zones were removed in competition because of the pure randomness. You can be playing a fantastic game, have the perfect position, the red zone happens to choose you, and you die. Like, that is something that does not make for a fun competitor, or for a fun spectator sport, and it does not make for a fun game. So I've always argued for the red zone to be removed completely. It's just not fun. Player Unknown is on record stating he added it because it's cool. That's literally his reasoning. And he said, if you died the red zone, you're a bad player. Yeah, which I fully disagree with.
Mm-hmm. You've clearly made some incorrect decisions at that point.
Yeah, but I don't think I just happened to be there's definitely situations where we found ourselves in red zones from no fault of ours.
But it has been our decision to stay in the red zone or cross through the red zone. Generally we just treat them like they're nothing, and just because most of the time you can go through them fine, it's just that 1 in 50 chance that your whole team will get bombed. But yeah, I think it's, you can strategize around it. It's definitely more frustrating in a competitive game mode where your strategy is very, very important and every move that you make is pretty calculated. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so far every change that you've mentioned doesn't make the game more difficult.
No.
Or scary to new players. Maybe the level 3 helmets, but I don't think even then. I think anyone who plays a game with a sniper rifle knows that if they get headshot by a better player, they're just going to die.
Right.
Or headshot by any player. They don't have to be better. Just headshot by a player. But anyway, feel free to keep going.
So let me see. I'm trying to find the competitive rules.
It's 80 players, I think.
Yeah, so fewer players. Yep. I think the circles are faster as well.
That is interesting. I think the circles on Vikendi are pretty solid. I think that would be fine to keep as is. For the general game mode. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I basically my point is that I don't think any of these rules are too difficult for a new player to grasp and deal with. That it shouldn't just be the general. I don't think it needs to be FPP versus TPP. I think it just can be the PUBG rule set.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
You're a smart man.
I didn't know why they did this with Counter-Strike either. If you play casual on Counter-Strike, it's just a worse game mode.
It's true.
It's super frustrating. I was having a lot of trouble with it when I first started playing CSGO, and then I switched to competitive and was having
Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Exactly. I was having so much fun right away because the game mode is just actually better. Things matter in the game that don't matter in casual, and yeah.
How about this? So what about more casual game mode, third person, has things like flare guns that call in UAZs. It has things like more loot all around in general.
No.
It has things like a cave that perhaps you can drive a car into to get two airdrops.
We'll talk about that later.
Off the bat. That is where I can see them having a logical split between game modes, where you've got things in the game that make for more fun, but more random and kind of just stupid events that might occur because of those things that are in that game mode.
No.
I'm just saying, like, that's a way you could delineate a casual versus a hardcore game mode. Like, changes to the map, even.
My idea is that they leave it how it is, and if they choose to make first person the competitive game mode, great. But I don't want to see this turn into a crap game on third person just because they want to distinguish the two. Distinguish it by only making tournaments first person. Cool. Don't add or remove or change third person just so it can be more casual. I don't want that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So I kind of agree that they should be the same. And my point is that they should be the same and then they should match with competitive play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying that could be a way that they do it if they wanted to, but why should the people who play third person be punished for playing third person if they want to play a competitive mode? And that's just adding way too many modes to the game to be
they've already got a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think the third person people the TTPP players shouldn't be punished for wanting to play TPP. We have competitive minded TPP players in our Discord. They like playing, they like getting the dinners, they like grinding them out. So why not this rule set for everybody?
Right.
Yeah, cool.
No, I agree. I think we're all in agreement.
Anything else?
Nope, I don't think so.
TPP for competitive 2019.
I think personally, I still prefer first person as a spectator sport and to play because I think that's the game mode that I enjoy more for no other reason than I like it. I don't know.
I'm way better at third person.
But I'm better at third. Yes, exactly. I'm better at third, but I like first because I know that I am on a little bit more even playing field with the camera angles. Even though taking everything into account you already said, which is like peek and be peeked, yes, I agree with all that too, but I just feel better in first person. That's all I can really say. PCP.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll follow me, we are now entering the personal computer place.
We got a balance patch for loot, specifically loot spawns on Vikendi.
Prayers are
What's that
answered.
look like?
I know. So
In a way.
In a way, yeah. 80%.
Based on the numbers, I appreciate what they did. We'll see if they need further balance. However, I think what they're doing seems in the right direction. So just an overview real quick. Decreased SMGs, increased AR spawns, decreased DMR spawns while maintaining the number of sniper rifle spawns, decreased the number of level 3 helmets and level 3 armor, increased backpacks, decreased SR attachments, sniper rifle attachments, and that is it for the loot balance.
Oh, and increased 4x.
4x's.
Yep.
Also
Which
4x's.
I have not noticed.
I did notice. I found like 3 in our last match, basically.
Just in the one did I notice.
So yeah, first question I have in regards to this, which I had a lot of complaints about, and we've seen people in the Discord talking vaguely, tangentially about this topic, is does this change the balance with the level 3 gear? Like, do you think that this changes weapon lootouts or loadouts? That's
Sinnoh. That's Sinnoh as a weapon lootout. Good old fashioned lootout.
So like your weapon loadout, does this mean that you're less likely or more likely to carry SMGs? Because on the previous patch, if you have an ump against somebody towards the end of the game, they're most likely going to have a level 3 vest and or helmet, and it just is like, throwing pebbles at the guy. Mm-hmm. It does 9 mil against the level 3 stuff does so little damage.
19 damage to level 3 helmets, I believe.
So it's something crazy. So anyway, does this change what you think or like how you will set up your weapons?
Well, I think before the patch, it was like I was running an SMG because I couldn't find a damn AR.
That's
But
true.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I like the decrease of level 3 armor. I think I was finding level 3 vests a little bit too often. However,
way too often.
we also were finding them a lot today.
We still found them today, yeah. They're not gone for sure.
I didn't need them to be gone. I just didn't want it to be like, oh, everyone's got a level 3 vest? Cool.
Yeah. You know what this might do is this might create a weird thing where towards the late game, people will have like mostly broken vests and will be like almost vestless by the end because they'll get shot up a little bit more and then the vest will break. So this might create this weird kind of loot pocket where people
Loot pocket.
where there's the same like number of vests on the in the world, but because everyone's picking up a level 3, that basically holds them off for the entire game until the very end. And then they have to either pick up what's on the ground, which isn't always possible, especially in the late game in a very hectic game.
Yeah, that sucks to do.
So
that.
yeah, I would be curious if this creates some weird end game scenarios.
Yeah, I did think about that because I would stick with that level 3 as long as I can.
Totally.
And my enemies that I kill would have damaged gear anyway, likely. So you're going to be running with a mostly damaged armor in the end game, which probably would be happening anyway. But level 3 would still be a little more enticing if it's even if it's 3/4, 2/3 damaged. I'd still take it over refresh level 2, and I can't survive more than 2 fights with that thing with 4 breaks.
Yeah.
So, interesting. But yeah, what do you feel about the AR increase? Good? Too much? Too little? Good numbers?
No, I'm good. I definitely, there were some name places where sometimes I would get out with like, an ump and just hoping for an AR in the next spot. So I think having an AR when you leave the loot location for a squad, I think that is ideal. You don't need 2, but you need 1 per team member.
Mm-hmm. And SMGs decreased.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
Very happy with that.
Definitely the Tommy gun decrease. What was it, like 52% reduction?
52%, yeah.
Means there's still a lot of micros out there. The Uzis.
Yeah, so many.
So many.
Piles of them, in fact. 3 on top of each other.
Literally.
And, of course, the PP Bison is a new SMG.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that later, but that's another SMG to add to the pool.
Mm-hmm. We already had trouble finding DMRs. We have a 16% reduction.
Which is...
That's kind of a bummer.
Weird.
Don't love it.
Maybe it's because of the reductions that 16% isn't as significant, but I think it still is.
I think they're offsetting it by the increase of ARs, because ARs have that weird area between...
Yeah.
Like, they're almost... Some of them are as good as a DMR anyway.
What also, I think that the canted sight is also something that we're not considering just yet about how that affects.
That's true.
The little amount of DMRs that we have.
Yep. Very true.
So maybe this is the time to jump into the actual patch note and start to talk about the changes that have made and maybe bring this all full circle.
Sure.
So we got patch number 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Patch number 25 added the Bison, which we kind of touched on a little bit. But it also came with the canted sight. And I think that it might actually be the biggest change, even with the rebalance.
This is pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So with the canted sight, you can lay whatever sight you want on your top rail, just like you've always done. The canted sight goes on your side rail and is a red dot.
Mm-hmm.
With the decrease in SMGs, the decrease in DMRs, and the increase in ARs, I think this new balance, instead of doing what a lot of people, especially, WTF Moses said, where this is going to create the old double AR meta again.
Yeah.
I think it encourages people to stick with their SMG and keep their AR in case they do not find a sniper or a DMR. Because now you can have long, mid, and short range weapons in 2 weapons.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an M4 with a 4X, a canted sight and a 2x on a vector, you are golden. If you can't find these other weapons. And I think that is the biggest change that we've seen out of this patch. And there's a lot in the patch. I just think this is the most significant. Because it kind of screwed with us, right? When we were playing, like it messed us up a little bit about, oh, wait, I can change my weapon configuration. My whole loadout is different now. I'm okay with a few weapons that I wasn't okay with before. And most things do have the canted sight.
Yeah. Pretty much all of the things have the canted sight, by the way. Barrel, AK, AUG, M4, Mutant, QBZ, SCAR, G36, all the DMRs, all the SRs. M16. Oh, not the M16. Good call.
Not the M16, yeah.
SMG, Ump Vector, Bison, Shotgun.
Not the Mini. Not the Uzi, I mean.
Yeah. Not the Uzi. The Auto Shotty, and even the LLMG, the M249.
But not the DP.
Not the pan gun, nope. So yeah,
strange.
This, I called it when I was playing today. I was like, this just made me think a little more about what I want to do.
Yeah,
because
it's a lot,
now I feel I've got a medium range with the 3x or 4x on my AR, plus a canted sight gives me close range suddenly. So now, like just Cody said, where he's got SMG plus AR, where short, medium, long, you can do the same thing with DMR. Now you've got long, medium, short. Same kind of thing, except your long ranges is just a little more powerful than your AR loadout would be. And then even with the sniper
6
too.
and a canted. Yeah.
Yeah, even with the sniper too, you can do AR sniper. You can do SMG sniper. It's just a lot of options, really. Like you have to figure out what will work for your play style, I think.
Here's an interesting note which I didn't read previously while we were playing, and I don't know. This is kind of cool. So the main scope you see when you aim will be different depending on which slot you attach the canted sight and scope. If you equip canted sight only, your primary sight will be the canted sight. If you equip the canted sight after scope, your primary sight will be the scope, right? So you put a 4x on and then the canted sight, you pull up your gun, it's the 4x, you have to switch modes to get it to the canted.
Yep.
If you equip the scope after the canted sight, your primary sight will be the canted snipe, so your 4x will be on the side. Which we didn't test.
No. I don't think it'll be on the side. It'll just be not the first one you see.
Remember how I was showing you could do the alt click?
Yeah.
And then it changed your gun angle, I guess, to make it canted to primary. That's the switch between primary, I think they're talking about here. Gotcha. I think the red dot will always be on the side.
That would be sick, though, because I would prefer that, actually. I would prefer to take a side shot with a magnified scope.
I mean, this makes sense because I definitely tried to put like a 2x on the side while we
and it was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because I tried to do that too.
So yeah, it'll change basically how you're carrying the gun, which shouldn't, according to them, while in ADS, however, any features which might affect gunplay, such as scope's position in ADS, FOV, and recoil, were not changed. So the gun should feel exactly the same, no matter which sight you're using.
Yep.
Even though the angle is different.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I like the ability to change on the fly. Like you can just hold Alt and then right click to change the which sight is coming up first when you aim down sights.
Right.
We got a new vehicle. It's called the Snowdercycle. I didn't see it. I didn't see one.
I didn't see it either.
Well, it looks cool as hell. It's quicker and has better mobility than a snowmobile. However, it can blow up easily, apparently. And there are going to be no more motorcycles on Vikendi. So it's just the Snowdercycle, and it's fast and agile, but can be blown up real easy like.
Mm-hmm. New weather. We got a night mode.
Moonlight.
Yep, big glowing supermoon and bright aurora borealis will help you detect your enemies. What do you think of the night
I liked it. I liked it. I would like to play that very often, actually.
Do you think it was dark?
It wasn't dark. It was moonlight.
Yeah, it wasn't that dark.
No,
but I think it did affect how I saw some people.
You said the 3X was...
3X
you said the 3X looked tinted. Yeah.
Yep, even more tinted.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that.
Not a fan.
I think it's just super bright on Vikendi normally because everything's super, white and bright.
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of the tint now of the background. It makes it harder to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it's cool. It looks cool. It's fun. It doesn't drastically change gameplay, which I think is a good thing.
I think it made things a little more clear. If not distinguishable, it was just clear.
You think so?
Maybe because the white was just so bright and overwhelming.
Yeah.
I did think the same thing. Like I felt like I could see a further distance more clearly.
I didn't have as much trouble spotting people today, although I wasn't sure if that was just because we've been playing the map more.
Except for Magnum Opus.
Yeah.
Well, he was
Could
he was
not
just
find that guy.
invisible.
If you listen to the
Yeah.
show, delete the podcast. You're dead to me. Alienating our viewers one at a time.
That's right.
That's the guy who shot me in the back and then hid. Very frustrating.
Yeah, Cody and I spent like 10 minutes trying to find him. We're like, where is this guy? We couldn't find him. We tried tracking his footprints, but, he moved around. And then finally I spotted him like hiding behind a rock, trying to sneak up on us again.
Super smart, but just annoying to play against.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. What did they change about gameplay, Dan?
This is actually interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt,
I
but
said, Dan.
go for it, Dan.
you can take it. You can take it.
No.
Now I want John.
Yeah, me too.
No.
John.
Too bad.
John.
No, I'm muting my mic.
Okay, fine. They modified and decreased the damage amount delivered to vest. The existing damage calculation used to apply 100% damage to vests. Vests have been modified to receive lower damage. So like you were saying earlier, your little pocket of weird looting situation where you've got your damaged vests all the time, they actually take less damage. They're more durable, so they'll last longer. Which, maybe... What do you think about the different levels of vests being more and less durable? So maybe like a level 1 would last longer than a level 2, which would last
What?
not as long as a level 3.
Oh, not as long.
Yeah,
I thought you said
decreasing.
longer.
Yeah. So the level 1 vest doesn't protect you a lot, but it's very durable. Level 2 protects you a little bit more than level 1, but it breaks easier. And then level 3 breaks even faster, but protects you more. I think that's a good way to offset.
That's a great way to offset that.
the damage boost you get from level 3.
Goddamn genius.
Just a thought. Hire me, Bluehole. HotDropPodcast@gmail.com. Send you my resume. They also modify the damage system of throwables, where they no longer will be blocked by those tiny little poles and tiny little table legs. It'll actually do damage through them, thank God, because that was such a dumb mechanic. Like, if a sliver of a pixel was blocking a grenade, it would just absorb all the damage of the grenade, and you wouldn't die if you were behind that object.
Right.
So that's
Trajectory guideline is now shown properly until the throwable weapon leaves a player's hand, which is nice that the guidelines are actually correct.
Yeah, that is correct. That is nice. Reduce
Yeah, that is correct.
those things. It's both of those things. Reduce the delay when opening a parachute. This will make players able to change directions earlier. That's nice. I didn't notice it, though. Vikendi Blue Zone modifications, only for Vikendi. Blue Zone will be generated further away from the center, and the damage of the last zone has been increased, probably to get you to move and make it so you can't last so long hiding in the blue at the end. Item spawns have been modified. We've been over this. What do you guys think about... There was one more thing on here. Back to the...
Battle stat weapon skin?
No, sorry. I was going to go back to... I'll complain about that in a second. Back to the weapon loot balance.
Uh-huh.
How do we feel overall about their idea of trying to make this map more SMG-centered? They say the idea is to make it focused... Vikendi was designed to focus on SMG gunplay, is what they say, right up front. What do you think
if
about
they
that?
want to do that, take out the level 3 gear.
Yeah.
And why would they do
again,
that? That's another question.
I think what they're trying to do, the longevity of this game, they're trying to have maps for specific things. And if they can fake it until they make it to pigeonhole Vikendi into a certain way, then that is the quote-unquote SMG map. And Sanak is the loot till you die map.
Yeah.
And Miramar is the desert wasteland that nobody fucking likes map. I don't think it's working.
I mean,
but that's what they're trying to do.
That's so true. Like they can just say, here's a whole bunch of SMGs and a low AR spawn rate. Boom, our map is SMG focused. Because the map itself isn't. There's huge open spaces of no trees, no cover. Like, why would you ever use an SMG in that situation?
Right.
I don't know what their point was here because they're not fun to use either, is the other thing. Past the first couple drops, first 10 minutes of the game, I would say. So,
yeah.
I mean, vectors are fun all the time. That's an exception.
And I think UMP is a great gun. It's a super solid all-around gun. But when you start adding the level 3 gear in, it just becomes like so useless. I don't get those two decisions. Like they're like, we want this SMG focused. We want level 3 gear on the map. It just creates these tanks. And then as soon as you get an AR or a DMR, those people just drop. It's not SMG focused at that point.
Totally. I just wanted to touch on that.
I don't know. It's really weird. I don't understand. That can't be the only thing, as Cody was saying, that can't be the only thing you do to make it SMG focused.
Statistically, the spawn rate of SMGs and SMG attachments were set so they would spawn 7:3 ratio to ARs. This is so players could quickly arm up for combat and still allow players with SMGs to fight players with ARs on equal footing by having sufficient attachments and ammo for early stage combat.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Makes no sense.
Because attachments don't increase damage. Like it doesn't or make it longer range or make it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And the attachments like change the mechanics of the SMG so like smallly. It's not like you need a vert grip on an UMP or a vector to use it.
Exactly.
Like that makes no sense whatsoever. And it's not harder to like pick up an AR and load it. Like it's slightly slower, just slightly. But if you're building away from somebody, then the AR person has the advantage. Especially if there's a level 3 vest in one of the houses.
Exactly. And this is in direct contrast with this statement right before it, which is, when we first designed Vikendi, our goal wasn't just to have the same characteristics as every other map and add snow, but rather to pursue the core elements that make PUBG fun. The core elements that make PUBG fun, if they remember, is AR, SR. That's what it was from day one. M4 Car 98 was the loadout everyone used all day long on Erangel.
Yeah.
That's SMG never played into how I played the game for the first year of PUBG's existence. SMGs were, I can use it right up front, get the kill on someone with an Uzi, drop that Uzi immediately for Vector. Or UMP. I might carry an UMP. But it was AR as soon as I found that, and a DMR if I found anything better than the AR. It would just replace that UMP and a Vector immediately. I don't know what they're doing. This is the first time I've felt that they were pretty out of touch with how the game is really played and what makes the gunplay fun. And SMGs aren't fun.
But they're lucky the map is fucking bonkers.
The map is
or else people would have fucking lost it.
Turns out all you need to do to make a fun map is make it SMG focused.
Right. Who knew?
Yeah, let's move on.
I don't get
Performance. They optimize performance by modifying the number of footprints shown around the player, and they improve frame drops in the lobby and inventory.
I was worried about this one. I
actually feel like that's true. Like when I was loading, the lobby.
About frames. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the frame drops. Well, maybe it wasn't in. I guess I thought the lobby they meant the starting like loading area, like gathering all the players. But I did have less frame drops in the lobby.
I haven't really noticed, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't noticed the performance number.
I didn't notice the footprint thing all that much, but you're right. I was worried about it.
I thought it would mean less footprints or less accurate footprints.
Yeah,
which would mean a difficulty tracking and thus taking away what the big sell for this map was.
It's really fun.
It's fun.
Really fun.
It's great.
To track people. Survivor Pass. We talked about that. UI changes. I don't think there's anything super interesting here.
Slight tweaks to the friends list, which I still don't know how to use. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it integrate with Steam Friends? I don't understand. Because you have your own in-game name is how they identify you.
Yeah.
Like
privacy stuff maybe.
It kind of does. It's really hard to add someone on Steam. You can't add a Steam friend via PUBG. Yeah.
This is cool though. Added an option to set default firing modes for weapons. We were just playing around with this. It's really cool.
Yep. Big.
Really cool. Like
Sometimes it remembers and sometimes it doesn't, though. So they have to tweak that a little bit.
What? What do you mean?
Once it didn't remember my vector.
Oh,
Because I picked up a vector and I'd already switched it. And then when I went to pick up a vector, it wasn't there. But
So
that was the only one.
This happened to me, and it was only before I switched the default mode to auto. So I had manually switched it to auto when I picked up an ump. I dropped it, picked it up again, and it switched to single. And it's because my default mode was set to single. So it overrides what you set in game with your default in the menu, which seems like a bug to me. Seems like the incorrect implementation of that. However, switching it to auto in the menu fixed that issue.
Nice. Okay. It seemed to work okay for me, but I tried it like once, so I'm not really sure if it has a problem or not.
Battle stat weapon skin.
Yeah, well, first you got to press J to inspect it because fuck yeah, you got to look at my sweet ass weapon skin.
I mean, I'm actually okay with this. Like, I like doing the inspect weapon things. You can't actually do anything while which is unfortunate. Like in CS:GO, you could like be running around and insta shoot basically, even while you're inspecting your gun. So it just kind of like just a quick second to look at your gun and how cool it is, and then shoot at people again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not opposed to this.
Yeah, me either. That's cool. But I am kind of opposed to how this battle stat weapon skin is revealed and how it's in the game. It's so dumb. It's dumb as hell. It's really dumb.
How so?
The only way to get it is behind a locked crate, and the drop rate of this weapon is 0.16%. It's basically like getting the most rare item in the game, but you have to pay for a key to open the crate to try to get it.
Yeah.
So
really,
let's show this new technology to count your kills on the side of the weapon, which is cool. Some people are obsessed with their kills. That's great. I would like to have this, but I can't get it unless I pay for a key. And on top of that, it's the most rare item in that crate.
Yeah, you're not going to just pay one key to get this.
No. Let us buy it with BP. Come on. It's so stupid. Like, and I bet you that there's some glitches with this and it won't work properly and it won't track your stats the right way. I guarantee it. I guarantee fucking it.
Shit, you're probably right.
So how it works
is the one thing that they get right in this game are the skins. There's no way.
That's true. That's true. They have a very good track record in skins.
Too much money.
It'll track your kills. If someone else picks it up, they'll see the number that you had, but they will not be able to add to it. Makes sense. It can be traded, so that means even more money. As soon as you buy this or get this thing, you can sell it for obscene prices. I bet it'll go for well over $100. Or 200, or even more than that, because you can trade it on the marketplace. The number of kills are reset when you trade it, which makes sense. You can purchase them for 10 BP in the test server for now, but of course, the real thing is locked behind a crate. So dumb. So dumb. You'd have to unlock so many crates for a chance at one of these.
1 in 1,000.
Wacky Jackie was real pissed about this. He did a tweet about this. He's like, I'm a player, not a wallet, which I agree with completely. And there's a new crate, but the new crate only has this one battle stat skin in it. The rest are shirts and wearables.
Baby bear face shirt, by the way.
Baby bear face mask.
We got a bunch of bug fixes.
Tons of bug fixes. Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, nothing really interesting here. But there was a hotfix, which had some more bug fixes, of course, because that's what they are.
Right.
Hotfix. Grenades dealing damage through floors. Bison firing and reload sounds could be heard from further distance than intended.
Seen through spiral stairs. See, they're using this to fix bugs while it's on test.
Brilliant.
Novel.
Love it.
Crazy.
Fantastic.
Crazy.
Fantastic.
Cool.
See? Boom. There it is. There was something broken. Battle stat information text overlaps with the UI if you have too many skins in your inventory. Knew it. So, yep. Oh no, that's a known issue. It's still a problem. Still a problem. So yeah, some known issues here. Voice chat is not working in the lobby. They fixed that one, as well as throwables not dealing damage to certain vehicles. But there's some issues with skins, like that one that I already mentioned about the battle stat information text. The ump skins can unintentionally be applied to the Bison. Scorpion is incorrectly categorized as SMG. Interesting.
In relation to the Survivor Pass missions.
Damn. Okay. I thought maybe they were trying to classify it as an SMG from the start. And war mode.
They're like, oh, it was incorrectly categorized as an SMG, so we just decided not to fix it.
That's now an SMG.
We boosted the spawn rates on Vikendi by 170%.
War mode with Platoon. The remaining players' UI for the red and blue teams were switched. That'd be good. Then you start shooting your teammates, thinking that you're on their other team. So yeah, that's it. There's a lot of bug fixes here, and I don't want to go through them. There's just too much.
There's too much. Yeah.
The features are what we care about.
Check it out, though.
Yeah. The secret cave. Secret cave. What do we think about the secret cave, guys?
So just to introduce this is a secret cave northeast of Podvosto. You have to drive a car through like some rocks at a certain spot, and it contains at least 2 airdrops with high-level loot in it. What?
Absolutely not. Get that
This is
shit
crazy. It's crazy.
Why would
This is
they
only
do
test server,
that?
by the way, for now.
Yeah, you can go test it.
Stupid.
So I think it's a little ridiculous. It seems like it's going to be a hot drop place, right? Like,
of course.
won't people just get in cars and trying to get there as soon as possible and get their loot drops?
Yeah.
Like this is such a cool thing that like you're like, oh, they'll never find it. We found it on freaking test because everyone data mines everything.
Mm-hmm. Or
maybe
fell
they
through the map and could look up and see it.
Yeah, I don't know how it was discovered, but you can't keep secrets like this in maps. Like people are gonna find it, and then it's gonna create such an imbalance around this area. And in the end, like I don't think level 3 or like the crate drop stuff is really a game breaker, and it's not like there's like 16 or whatever. I don't know. I don't think it's a huge deal. It's kind of annoying that it's there. But I think I would care more if level 3 gear was not a world spawn, if you could just go to this cave and get it every game. Because it reduces the like risk reward for care packages.
Yeah, right. But it still sucks it's there because everyone's going to be trying to do that. And that's not fun for everyone else playing the game that's not doing that.
Podvosto, I think, will blow up as a loot spot for sure.
Yeah. Right.
That might be the new Hacienda.
I think it's dumb. I think this could be a test of a custom game mode, maybe. Like race to the airdrop or something. I don't know, but I don't think it belongs in the regular game mode. I really don't think so.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Cody?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Note from PUBG Hawkins, by the way, found this on Reddit on Erangel loot balance. Someone was complaining about how the loot on Erangel is garbage trash.
I mean, we've been talking about that for a year?
Probably, roughly.
Basically a year.
And he said that they are talking about improving the gameplay experience across the board, including many key areas people have identified. They understand loot on Erangel is a big pain point for many of you.
Because it sucks.
Because it sucks.
Mostly M16s.
Yep. And level 1 vests and helmets. Mm-hmm. And 1911s.
Mm-hmm.
So,
cool.
I would love to go back to Erangel after they refresh it a little bit.
Yes. Man. If they put Tommy guns everywhere, I'll be so mad.
Yeah. We have decided to make Erangel a SMG-focused map based on your feedback from Vikendi. Garbage trash.
Anything else for PC?
I don't think so. That was a solid 33-minute segment.
Damn.
Fantastic.
We had a lot.
There's some stuff in there. There's some stuff. Mobile home.
Blam.
Beep, beep. Beta update featuring Resident Evil 2 crossover. Weird.
Interesting. Added the Resident Evil 2 Sunset, a new time-limited event mode, fight to survive as usual on Erangel, but zombies and bosses from Resident Evil 2 will also spawn on the map. Kill them to get resources and items.
That's nuts, man.
That's pretty
so
crazy.
weird. I've never heard of a game having a crossover with another game like this.
Here's the thing. Mobile has fun with this, man. Like,
Yeah.
mobile gets to do this because there's not going to be an overly competitive scene for it. Like, the people that we have in our community love mobile. That's great. But, like, no giant company is going to, be hosting the mobile PUBG Invitational. So they get to do this.
India.
Oh,
Here's
really?
the thing. This is like an event mode. So
It's amazing.
they have enough players that they can put this stuff out and have different game modes. They have the servers and the architecture so that it doesn't break their game when they release a new event.
I'll tell you something. I played with Tom yesterday, and it was awesome.
Sounds really fun.
Awesome. So you can just join. Their quick matches are random.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, their quick matches can be shotguns only, small zones, whatever. You literally just join a quick match, and you'll join whatever is open. And so there are enough people running crazy shit that you literally get thrown into whatever.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Sounds great.
I had some kills. I had some fun. We died. We got second place and sixth place.
That's pretty good.
It was great. I was going to play more too, but then I ended up watching Fantastic Beasts with the kids. But it was great, and now I want to play more. So I think you guys all need to make more time for mobile too, because it was a blast.
I do. I got an invite Saturday, but I was doing the Great British Bake Off at my house, so I had to bake a sweet Swiss roll.
I'm going to play again this week because I want to just get in and explore this more. So many prompts, though. Oh, my God. So many goddamn prompts.
So many things to redeem.
Nonstop, but boy, was it a hoot.
Solid.
Well,
So
there
what
are
else
more
we got
beta
here?
updates.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 main menu theme and music. They added the moonlight weather to Vikendi, so the same as what we have on PC Test. Added personal spaces where player information and connections are displayed. Select a friend with Synergy 400 or above as partner to stand by your side in your space.
Oh, this is like MySpace, my top 8.
Yeah, Tom's going to be up in there. Added push-to-talk chat and matches. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Ooh.
Sanhok is now available in arcade quick match. Added a PC feature, which is damage stacking outside of safe zone. The further away players are from the safe zone, the more damage they take. And another one, air raid adjustment. In Sanhok and Vikendi, the size of the air raid area is reduced as the safe zone reduces in size.
So this
would also-
one we didn't realize was a thing, by the way, on PC.
Also, did you know that you can follow people on the mobile game?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
So
mean
you're
by
jumping.
follow?
You jump from the plane, and before you jump, you select follow, and you'll follow the team leader without touching anything.
Really?
So, like, Tom was like, "Where do you want to go?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he just sent a request to follow, and I hit, "Yeah, I want to do that." And I followed him where he was going.
And you didn't have to control your character? It
I
just ran
did not
automatically?
have to control my character.
That's
It
so
just
wild.
took me where I needed to go.
Damn.
Dude, I'm telling you, mobile's got it. Mobile knows. Mobile is Bay.
KK's going to yell at you for using an old meme like
Yeah.
that.
Dead meme. Dead meme.
Fuck you, KK! Suck it, Tom!
Couple FAQs about the beta. Suck it, Tom. Game data on the beta version will not affect the live version and vice versa. So you can just fuck around. You can do whatever you want. Your stats are not broken up by the beta version. Bugs and technical issues can be reported by clicking report. Makes sense. Located in the top right during the match, or clicking the upward caret button located in the bottom right corner of the main menu and selecting report. And then the third is use the guest login because the other social media options are not available in the beta.
The one thing I will say about mobile is that, like, I have to keep signing in every single time, and I think that's stupid.
I did think it was weird how it made me create an account / like I linked it to the HOTDROP Twitter because I didn't really want to create a Facebook. I can only see those two were the options Like I didn't want to link it to my actual Facebook, so I linked it to the Twitter.
Oh.
But I don't know. I guess they want to encourage sharing, probably.
Yeah,
to get more
they do.
eyeballs on the game. So,
Yep.
not about that life.
But
Cool.
get in there. Everybody who listens to this podcast and doesn't play mobile, get in, play mobile. It's fun.
Do it. And when was it?
23rd.
Mobile tournament, 23rd.
I don't
Sign
think
up.
that's right.
Scroll up.
I think it is. Scroll up. 23rd, Feb 23.
Feb 23.
Squads, $10 per person. Sign up. Join the Discord. Word. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hotline blank.
Now we make the hotline bling.
Hotline bling.
You have new messages.
Hey guys, Andrew here. Just calling to say hey, and I'm real excited for the next community night that's coming up for PC. Love the show. Consoles, sad, but you'll get better, and your voice will sound as beautiful as it did before. It's okay. Anyways, look forward to seeing y'all online.
Hello, this is a totally different guy than just called. I'm calling to file a formal complaint against Cody. He told me he would play PS4 PUBG with me, and then he never did. So I think he needs to be fired out of a cannon into the sun. Thank you.
You have new bloopers.
Where did he get a bear onesie?
Where do you get it?
The Bear Onesie store.
I think there's a market for this.
Probably. Now, here's the real question, though. We know it's going to be warm. However, is it still like armor, or is that because of the distribution across the body of a bear?
I think it's thick skin. So I think bears.
So
have
you can't
thick
hurt
skin
its
and
you
bones.
can't hurt its feelings.
Exactly.
Right.
If anyone makes fun of you in a bear onesie, you just like shrug that shit off.
Yeah. And it has built-in claws for attack weapon.
For attack.
For attack weapon.
Just for attack.
For attack, yes.
We stream.
I didn't know who was going to do it. We stream Monday and Thursday. Ah, gotcha.
we stream.
Get wanked on.
Get wanked on.
Who streams?
We stream.
For ice cream. God, so lame.
This is the best blooper reel or real event.
Or real event. Unknown. Still unknown.
That makes sense.
I think we're onto something here. I really do. Like, they have the bear rugs. We talked about this, the bear rugs. Everyone has a bear rug. I mean, if you don't have a bear rug inside your man cave, what are you doing? And everyone has the bear hat.
Everyone.
How many people can you
Everyone.
just point out how many people have bear hats?
I mean, at least one. There's
Name
at least one person out there. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of raccoon hats. Definitely not as terrifying. But no one talks about the bear onesie.
The thing about bear hats is you could get one bear and make like 10 hats.
A lot of hats.
Whereas
How
one
big are
raccoon
your
is
hats?
A lot of hats.
Like 10.
I don't know. You heard it here
10
first, I
just
think.
Massive hats.
This is if I start seeing bear onesies popping up on Etsy, I'm gonna be pissed. Real
At what
pissed.
time do we say this is Hot Drop? We have the Autobots do our actual podcast, not automated bots, the Autobots, as opposed to Decepticons. Autobots complete this, so we truly don't know what goes into it until it launches.
Yeah,
I never knew they were adept at making podcasts.
They've traveled through space to get to our planet. You don't think they can make a podcast?
They cheated using the Allspark. That just gives them technology.
That's not cheating. That's
cheating.
a way of travel.
That's not the know-how to like run and manage a podcast.
first Transformers movie was Shia LaBeouf. He had them freaking listed on eBay, didn't he?
I think he might have.
I think they could have just bought the glasses and be done with it. Didn't have to invade anyone. Just saying.
Why would they buy it? They didn't have any money.
They can travel through space and time. Money is just a construct.
Exactly. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They have the technology.
Exactly.
Can only mean one thing.
We make the hotline bling. It can only mean one thing.
No.
No, I'll delete that. Bye now. Love you. Say it back.
On behalf of myself, I would like to apologize for my horrifically inaccurate reproduction of an English accent in this episode. It was insensitive and plain irresponsible of me to stereotype the entire culture of tea-drinking, Q-loving, extremely polite people. I regret my actions. However, I will not now and not ever accept minted peas as a side dish for fish and chips. Also, they're called fries. In conclusion, I will promise to no longer stereotype entire cultures going forward, and I will see to it that I am punished for my actions. Cheerio, lads.